friends, welcome in. It's Mindy with the Pink Llama. Happy Sunday. I hope everyone's doing well today. Let me try and find myself here. There we go. And I think we got it. I think we do. Let's double check. All right, we are there. Hello, Susan. Hello, Rosebrook Cottage. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Sunday. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me tonight. Hello, Anne. Good evening, everyone. Come on. My iPad doesn't want to sit where it's supposed to. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're all having a good day today. It's been a beautiful Sunday here in Texas. It's been a day, an eventful day. I'll tell you all about it. Good evening, Teresa. Thank you, Miss Sheila. Welcome in. There's my sweet mama, Lunch Lady Catering. How are you, Miss Sheila? Hello, Kelly. Good evening. All right. Tonight, we are going to work on this guy. I have some fun things, some hopefully fun things. Hopefully they work out. But this is the Hello Fall Scarecrow door hanger. He's a big guy. It's a pretty big guy. So I had taken him out, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put him back in there and wrap him up so that I could hold him up and show y'all what he was instead of trying to fumble with all the pieces. But now it's on there a little thick, and you really can't see him that well. But we'll get him all together so everybody can see him. Hello, Kelly and Melva. Good evening. Did everybody have a good weekend? I hope y'all had a good weekend. Mine has been good and eventful. We'll get to it. And I'm still in shock at some of the things that went on this weekend. So, yeah. And, yeah. Anyway, we are going to get this guy all dolled up. I had already lost an eye, but thank goodness I found it. Now you can see him without all of the stuff. Hello, Crystal. There's my Christina girl. Hello, sweet sister. This is what we're working on tonight. We're going to have some fun. Hello, Pamela. Hi, Cindy. Welcome in. Good evening. All right. Let's split these into colors. Orange. Some of them I have not figured out what color we're doing yet. I don't know. All right. This is the Hello Fall Scarecrow door hanger, and he's so cute, and he's big. He's a big one. Like, looks like 16 inches tall. But he's going to be so cute, and I'm so excited. Oh, good. I fell in love with this kit when I saw it. Had to have it. I almost did Christmas, but then I was looking through my stash, and I'm like, oh no, how have I missed this guy? How have I not done him yet? I don't know. All right, where do I want to start? I think we're going to start with the face, and we are going to be using our paint tour. I'm probably going to be using a mix of all because I don't have all the Paint Couture paints yet. I need to get them. I'm going to do his face with Cozy Beige. We're going to add all kinds of detail and stuff to him. He's going to be so fun, and hopefully he turns out super cute. We're also going to be using this paper again. But then I've got some tattoos and some napkins, and a lucky person just might be winning some napkins tonight, or a little goodie box from me, a little goodie bag, something. We'll see. But I bet somebody does. Okay, this is Cozy Beige. And of course, move Tank, move. I'm going to use my makeup sponges. And I also found these and bought another pack of them at Walmart. These are the ones at Walmart. They're pretty much the same as the ones from Dollar General that have all the different ones in there, and they're like under $3-ish, around there. We'll say under $4. But I like the different shapes because those different shapes come in very handy with different things. So I'm just going to load up my sponge. Now this is how I do it. Everybody does theirs different. But this is how I like to do it. I like to make a mess all over my hands. Cozy Beige is so pretty. I'm in love with all of the colors that I've gotten from Paint Couture. I need to order the rest of them. Okay, so we don't have to paint his whole face, but a lot of it we do. I'm just going to start down here. And I like to use the makeup sponges. I know a lot of you have heard me say this a million times, but I like to use the makeup sponges because I do like to leave my edges, the raw edge. You know, that dark where it's been cut, I really like to leave that on my edge. They're really cute painted, but for me, I'm kind of a rustic girl. There's my Jamie girl. How are you, sweet Jamie? Happy Sunday. Thank you for sprinkling. Anyway, I'm a rustic girl, and those edges just add to the rusticness for me. I know rusticness is not a word, but I just made it a word. Yeah. So let me tell you my weekend story while I'm painting the guy, this guy's face. We're gonna name him something, Hubert or something. I don't know. We'll come up with a name. Oh boy. See, I'm just making all kinds of messes. You know, when you're watching me, you're in for a real treat of some kind of a mess, some kind of a tragedy, some kind of a, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. You're going to be in for something. And I'm not worrying about where I'm getting this paint. I'm just getting it on here because there's all kinds of elements to, there's all kinds of pieces to this guy that are going to cover where I don't get paint or where I do get paint. So I'm just focusing on getting it where I know the paint needs to be. Whoop. See, I didn't offload right there, but that's okay. We're just going to smear it on here, and I'm kind of going with the grain of the wood. It works much better. I know sweet Jamie and the other ladies, they talk about that quite a bit. So my weekend. Y'all know I have chickens because I talk about them all the time because I love my chickens. And really, truthfully, I'm kind of a very boring person. And my critters, my dog and my chickens are like the extent of my adventures, to be honest. I work from home, and my husband's out of town a lot for work. So it's usually just me and the critters. That's why I talk about them so much. I know some people really don't care to hear about them as much as I talk about them, but they're my life. That's it. I'm kind of boring. All right, I'm going to set him aside to dry. We got the cozy beige on there. I'm going to let him dry. So, and this story does have to do with chickens. We did have a tragedy. Sweet Myrtle, the mama who just hatched out babies, she sat on them and hatched them out and did such an amazing job. She is no longer with us. So I was really, really upset. I didn't cry. Believe it or not, I did not cry. I wanted to, but I didn't. So I walk out there. I go take him treats every single morning. And I walked out there, and I had her and her babies in a little bit different run. It's a smaller one, just so her babies wouldn't get out, because in my big run they could get out because it has like the bigger chicken wire holes on it. So I put her in there, but I do let them out to free range in the afternoon. All my chickens get to free range in the afternoon. I know, Jamie, it is sad. And anyway, I had let them all out to free range, but her and her babies didn't want to go back in. We're going to use deep ochre. I use this one a lot, and this is going to be for the hair. And this is a pretty rich, deep color. I'm just going to put a little bit on my glass top there. Check any of your stores, like if a store is going out of business, check your clearance sections in Hobby Lobby, especially when they're redoing seasons and stuff. That's where mine's from, is Hobby Lobby. I got it for $5, and I wish I would have bought another one, because I've scratched this one up pretty good because I'm rough on things. Okay, so back to the chickens. Her and her babies did not go. They all know when I go out there to water, it's time for them to go in. And by the time I'm done watering, they better all have their butts back in their coop so I can lock them up. Because if I don't do that, me and my brain fog, I will forget to go lock them up. And I've done it several times where I've just said, oh, they can stay out longer. I'll remember. I've even set alarms and forgot to go lock their door. But her and her babies, I couldn't get them back in because her babies have a mind of their own. They haven't learned the routine. And she was a grumpy, stressed out mom, lack of sleep, all the stuff new moms have. And so I said to myself, well, I'm coming back out here in just a little bit anyway, because there was something else I had to do. Oh, I was going to clean the black stone because it didn't get cleaned last time it was used. I was going to go out and clean it. Well, I went out and cleaned the black stone and forgot to lock her door. Forgot to go lock them up, because she puts her and her babies to bed when they're supposed to. Now, if I had my internal alarm clock set to, hello, Lavender and Lace, how are you, Lord? Hi, Tara. Hi, Debbie. The name of this paint, it's a Deco Art Deep Ochre. You can just get it at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, anywhere, but it's really pretty, like a deep orangey yellow color. I really like it. The other one I used is this one. It's Paint Couture. It's Cozy Beige. That's what I painted my Scarecrow's face with. So I went out, cleaned the Blackstone, did all that, and still forgot to go lock her up, which typically is not a big deal because I've done it before. I have forgotten to lock up my babies before. Okay, this is golden ochre, and this is, let me put the lid on this and show you the difference. So they're both an ochre, and they're both a deco art. Nope, this one's folk art. But there's quite a bit of difference between the two. So I forgot to lock them up. I went out the next morning to take them their treats. And typically, if anything is going on around my house, even in the middle of the night, my dog, he sleeps at the foot of my bed, and he will tell me. So I'm going to use my same sponge that I used on the hair. I'm going to use the same one for my sunflower. And if I get some darker bits in there, that's just fine with me. So I went out there the next morning, and the first thing I saw was her door was open. And I'm like, oh, goodness, whoops. That's not cool. And so I start walking over there thinking, shoot, her and her babies are probably free ranging or something by now. The closer I get, I see her babies, but I don't see her. And that's before I looked in the little nesting box. I already knew something happened, because there's no way she was going to let those babies out of her sight. So I already knew. So I looked in her nesting box, and she wasn't there, but there was feathers everywhere, and it looked like a tornado had gone through the nesting box, like it was destroyed. And she was gone. And her babies were terrified. It took me about 45 minutes to catch them, because they are not big enough to stay out on their own. I couldn't leave them in there because they need a heat lamp to regulate their temperature, because they don't have mama. So I knew it was either a possum or a raccoon. I've seen both of those around here. And the first thing that came to my mind was a possum, because I have a motion light on my back porch that goes off if, something goes by it or whatever. And it was one night before I was going to bed, I had noticed that, and we walked out, and there was a possum out there, and Tank chased it, and then it played dead, and he just left it there. And I'm not going to hurt him. I'm not going to hurt an animal. So I kind of thought maybe possum, but then I was thinking raccoon, because we've seen raccoon before. So I went to the feed store, and this is espresso or espresso, however you want to say it. This is Paint Couture. I love this deep, rich brown. I'm going to paint the middle of my sunflower this color. And I do have a little bit of yellow in the very center of my sunflower, but I'm not really worried about it. I'm going to let this espresso kind of mix with that yellow a little bit. And I'm just going to cover the plain wood. I'm not going to really worry about it. So anyway, I went to the feed store and got a live trap. Didn't discuss it with the hubby or anything until later. I went and got a live trap and was going to trap whatever it was that got my girl. Because I've only ever had a hawk and a cat get my chickens before. I've never had an issue. I left the door open, had a big old raccoon go in there, and he never touched them. He just ate their food. So I went and got this live trap, went and got that nasty wet cat food, the stinkiest, cheapest kind I could find, because I wanted it to be really stinky, because that's, from what I read, that's what'll attract them, is that stinky food. And the one I bought came with two traps, like a big one for, raccoons and possums, and then it came with a smaller one for more like squirrels and rabbits and things like that. It was quite a bit smaller. But I set both of them because I didn't know, you know, I didn't know what got them for sure. I go out this morning not thinking I was going to catch anything. Oh, you were talking to Miss Jamie. I'm sorry. I didn't think I'd catch anything because they just had a roast chicken dinner or breakfast, whatever time it was when they got her. This is toasted terracotta, and we are going to do the little nose with this toasted terracotta. And I'm going to use the same sponge that I used on the center of my sunflower. So I didn't expect to catch anything this morning. Go out there, feed my chicken their treats, and all of a sudden my dog is going crazy. Like, I've never heard him go crazy like this before. And he was over behind the chicken coops where I set those traps. And I go over there and I see a big old possum. Like, I've never really seen a possum up close before. I've only seen them on the road or, you know, from a distance, never up close. So I'm not a native Texas girl. And this thing was huge. And oh my goodness, they are not cute. They are the scariest looking things ever. So scary. And they stink. So I'm like, whoops, what am I going to do with this thing? I'm not going to hurt it. I'm not that kind of person. And I'm not going to touch it. In fact, I'm not even going to touch the trap. I was terrified. I didn't think it through. I didn't think through that, hey, your husband doesn't get home for like 3 or 4 more days. What are you going to do with this thing? Yep. It was one of those things where I just didn't think because I was mad. So luckily they were in the shade. They are so ugly, Jamie. Oh my goodness, they are so ugly. Oh my goodness, they are so ugly. Like, creepy, creepy ugly. There is nothing cute about them. Nothing. Nothing cute about them. Anyway, so they were in the shade. They were going to be fine. I didn't know what to do. I had things to do this morning, so I went on about my business. The whole time in my head, I'm thinking, what am I going to do with these things? Oh my goodness, what am I going to do with these things? I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. So I came home and I'm like, just put on your gloves and go take care of it. Go let him go somewhere out in the forest. And I'm like, but I don't want those things in my car. I just cleaned my car. So in the back of my car, I laid down cardboard. And I went and got my gloves. And I picked up those cages and I put those things in the back of my car. Yes, they were hissing at Tank. And their teeth, just, oh my gosh. Like, oh my gosh, they're so creepy. So, yeah, I put them in the back of my car. I sure did. And my whole car probably still smells. I've aired it out. I've cleaned it out again. They're just, oh my goodness, they're terrible. So, yeah, this is Thicket. This is one of my favorite green colors. It's kind of like a blue-green color, but it's so pretty. I really like to use this with like the deeper oranges and the deeper colors, like the richer colors. It's almost gone. I need to get some more. Seems like all of my favorite colors and favorite things are being discontinued. Like, I have this and I was going to use it tonight, but I'm not sure if I have enough. But it's this sand medium. No, I'm probably not going to use it tonight because I've already done what I was going to do. Anyway, it's this texture sand medium, and I love using it, especially like on my snowmen and stuff like that. You can't buy it anymore, like not even on the DecoArt website. Oh, Christina, I was a panicked mess. So I'm just driving around out in the country, and I'm like on the border of the city and the country. Like, I live in a little town, but there's city limits and then there's the country. And I live like a half a mile from the cutoff. So I'm driving around clear out in the country, places that I have never been before. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you have a father-in-law and a mother-in-law that live right up the road. You just need to text your father-in-law. So I text my mother-in-law, and I wasn't too far from their house. And she calls me, and she's laughing, thinking it's so funny. And I'm sitting in the car just dying that I have these nasty things in there stinking up my car. And yeah. But the things you do for your animals. Anyway, she's like, just come over here. John will help you out. That's my father-in-law's name is John. Sweetest man ever. And so he let them go for me. They are well fed and healthy because they feed the critters out at their house. They don't have any animals. So they put their food scraps and stuff out and feed the critters. And my mother-in-law is a caterer, so they get fed very well out there. He says, you catch any more, just bring them out, let them go out here. So tonight, I'm going to go set those traps again. I was going to wait until Brian got home just so I don't have to deal with it. But I just don't want to take any chances of losing any more of my babies. Hello, Tracy and Patty and Linda. So anyway, that's what my weekend consisted of. I did go do a little antiquing and thrifting and worked on an order and did some housework. Got baby chickens in my house again. So that was thicket we did on, but look how pretty of a green. It's kind of like a green blue, but more on the green side. It's really pretty. Keep those together. It goes in this one. Oh, wonderful. There it goes. I knew they went together. Okay. This one. So on this one, we are going to do a tattoo on it. And I'm thinking we're going to do this as the tattoo. And I think I'm just going to use this Italian ivory to paint the background because these are very translucent. Well, they're not really. They just need some kind of a background. You can do them dark, but it kind of takes away from the pattern a little bit. And I'll show you. If you've never seen the tattoos used on wood before, I'm going to show you. And they're like I know y'all have seen them before. You know the temporary tattoos you put on your skin? That's what I print them on. I print them on that paper. You can buy it on Amazon. And I love using it. There's a few creators. I know that Sage, she's where I first saw it from. And I know there's many other creators that use it as well, but that's where I first saw the tattoos being used on, any type of surface. You can use it on wood or whatever. And it works really good. I just like to, you don't have to paint. You can just use the natural wood, but anywhere, you'll see in just a second, you do want some kind of paint, but you don't have to. Okay, I'm going to set that aside to dry. And then I'm going to do, I still need that. I'm going to do a napkin on this part, on the hat band. And I just need a white color behind this as well. And this napkin is super cute. I actually found 2 of them today. I had to run to Target because I've been looking for a new rug for my kitchen. And Target's where I like to find them. Either Target or Kohl's is where I like to find my rugs, because I like the bigger rugs, like the 3 by 4 foot in my kitchen and by my doors, because I've got a lot of floor space, so I like them bigger. And it's hard to find them, and you know, you order rugs on Amazon, which I'm not knocking Amazon. I've got a couple big beautiful area rugs from Amazon, but it's hard to just find the right thing. Like sometimes that's when I order rugs from Amazon, they end up getting sent back like 10 times before I actually get the right one. But anyway, Target had their rugs on sale. And of course, they were super, super picked over. And I picked one up. I finally found one. And this is pitch black. It's another paint couture. I finally did find one. And I'm just going to cut one of my sponges here. I like to use them as much as I can. I'm kind of frugal that way. Anyway, I picked up the rug because there was a clearance sticker by it that said it was like 20 bucks, and they're regular like 35, 40 bucks. And I should have known, as picked over as they were and as cute as this rug was, I should have known it may not be the actual rug. So I they ring it up, and it rang up for full price. And I told the lady, I'm like, no, there was a sticker there that said it was like only $20. And I'm the type of person that if I don't, unless I really want it, or it's something that I know is not going to go on sale, or if I don't get right now, I'm not going to get it. Yeah, I like to use the sponges as much as I can too. Anyway, so I'm not going to die without that rug. Okay, we've got that painted, that painted, that painted. Now, and I don't need to paint those, I need to decide what color I want to do these. Huh. Anyway, if something isn't on sale and I don't have to have it right then, I don't like to buy it. So she said to me, do you want them? And I said no. And she sat there for a second. She's like, you know what? I'm just going to give them to you for that price, or give it to you for that price. I'm going to do barn door for my fall. Let me think this through. Yeah, we're going to do barn door on fall. And hello. We're going to do both of them the barn door. And if we end up not liking it, it's just paint. We can always paint over it. Okay, barn door is paint couture. And I know y'all know about paint couture. You can get it on the website. And I should be using tape. I've showed you that before, that it's easier to use the tape. So Anyway, I was happy that I got a rug on sale that really wasn't supposed to be on sale. I love it when they do that. This is such a pretty color. I love it when they do that. And a lot of places don't do that anymore. I know, like even Walmart, how they used to, you know, on the website, if a price was different than what it was in the store, they used to honor it, but my Walmart will not honor it anymore. You have to order it online and then go pick it up to get that price. Makes no sense. It's like, hey, I'm right here in the store. Let me shop for myself. I got so lucky with that. That was like $15. And I do like their rugs because they are washable. And the, you know, because some rugs, they say they're washable and then they end up falling apart or whatever. These ones don't. They stay together really, really well. And the only reason I needed a new rug was because when Tank was smaller, now he's older, he knows better. But when he was smaller, he loved to play with his toys on my rugs. And he would always catch his teeth in the little loops on there. So then I started buying rugs that didn't have those loops. I started buying just like softer rugs that didn't have the loops. And that helped, but I finally have trained him to stay away from my dang rugs. And he does. He knows he's not supposed to play on them. So there were just a couple little spots on the one, because I've already replaced my other ones because they were the worst. But I did have the one by my kitchen sink that really, really needed help. It wasn't terrible, but it just started getting dingy, and I've had it for like 3 years now. Okay, I'm just taking a finer grit sander, and I'm just not trying to distress at all. I'm just lightly going over just to smooth it out. Now, where is it? There it is. Get our Mod Podge out because I couldn't help it. I needed to use this again. We are going to use this on the hat. I just love the way it looks. Now, I went back and forth on whether to use that or not because look real close. Look at the pattern in the hat. You could do so many cute things with this hat. But the vision I had was this. Let me show you. And I've got this brown paper. It's a texture paper. It's Hobby Lobby. It's regular price is $1.99, but you can get it on sale. It's the only time I get it. So this is my vision. And then, where is it? Look at this cute napkin I found at Target. And it's the Joanna Gaines, the Magnolia brand. These were even 20% off. Look how cute that's gonna be with that brown. Really, really cute. And I do have some extra napkins that before we get off here, we're going to pick a name and I'm going to send somebody, whoever it is, I'm going to send them some napkins and who knows what else. Sometimes in my little happy mail, you just never know with me what you're going to get. You know, like Forrest Gumpo says, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That's what it's like when I send Happy Mail. Thank you, thank you. I thought it was cute. And I did find another one, and I was going to use it tonight. But then I came across the texture paper and couldn't. Now, I do have a blue texture paper I almost used. Look at that. And I always save these. These come in handy. Very handy. This is the other one that I found. So it's Hearth and Hand with Magnolia. But look how cute that is. And it even goes, look, they go together really well. Of course they do. Joanna Gaines isn't going to do anything else. I love her stuff. Love her stuff. Now, I don't care if there's wrinkles in this one. Don't care. In fact, I almost encourage it. Hello, Stacy. Good evening. How are you? All right. Let's get this done. And I'm not even going to cut my napkin because we all know napkins come off super easy. Just sand them off. Super, super easy. You know, I don't really do a lot of Mod Podging, but with y'all, I've done it last time and this time. But it is fun. I don't know why I don't do it more. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to kind of set this on here. Not straight, like kind of crooked on purpose. Let's get some of them wrinkles in there. Yep, wrinkle up, baby. Wrinkle up. I did kind of put the Mod Podge on a little thick on purpose because I encourage those wrinkles. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside to kind of dry for a second. Let's keep Mod Podging. Now this paper is thick. That's why I did not paint my hat or my hat brim, because you're not going to see through it. But you could paint if you wanted to, especially your edges if you wanted to. But like I said, I like that raw edge. So I don't know if I missed y'all saying, or if y'all are being quiet tonight, but did y'all do anything this weekend? Did you have a good weekend? I hope everybody had a good weekend. I know it went by fast. It's already Monday tomorrow. My goodness. Tomorrow is another busy day for me. I'm sure it is for everybody. Mondays are always just a Monday, aren't they? All right. And I will go through and sand off my edges. Usually when I Mod Podge, just because I don't always set everything down perfect, I do kind of, I probably should have put this on a little thicker, because sometimes thicker paper wants thicker Mod Podge to kind of soak into it. Yes, should have done that to begin with. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. This paper really soaks up the Mod Podge. I covered every square inch of this brim, but it soaked it all up. Okay. Now I'm going to lay that one down, face down, so it's laying on the paper. Now let's get this hat on. And yes, it's going to cover up the etching, the textured etching, and it's going to cover up where I'm supposed to put the Hello Fall. So I'm going to have to kind of wing that. Honestly, I probably should have used the napkin or tissue paper or something on the hat. And I could have used like the ply from the napkin and let it wrinkle up on here and then paint it over it. I could have done that. And you'll get the same effect almost. But of course, I don't think about that until now. Which I guess it's not too late, but I've already got the paper cut out, so we'll go with it this time. And then we're gonna mess with this tattoo, and I'll show y'all how it works. I'm sure as many people that do the tattoos, I'm sure y'all have seen it done. And I will re-poke my holes. I think this was meant to come down further. Yep, I was going to pull that down a little further. Last night I was watching, it's a series on Netflix. I don't know what's gotten into me with this TV watching in the evening, because I am not a TV person usually. I'm just not. So I don't know what's gotten into me. That Downton Abbey really, I've still got more episodes of that, but I had to take a break. But last night, I was just, you know, browsing to see what was on. I really wasn't in the mood to watch anything. And I was browsing Netflix. Because when my husband gets home, we do watch a movie together occasionally, but he watches TV all the time when he's home. But he doesn't watch it when he's gone, so, you know. Anyway, I was browsing and I came across the series, and I've watched it before, but new seasons have come out since I watched it. And it's called The Midwife. I love that show. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to do the tattoo right now. So I'm going to sand my wood just to get it smooth. Because you always, with the tattoo, you do want to have a somewhat smooth surface. I have done it on textured surface before, and it works. But you want a smooth surface, so we're going to sand, and I'm going to wipe it off, you know, right here on my little cardigan. Okay. Get my little rag here. Now, let's see. I know it goes that way. So, and you can sand the tattoo just like, let me do this the smart way. You can sand the tattoo just like you do tissue paper and stuff. And I'll show you. So I'm just going to trim it, so I don't need the whole thing. Alright. So there's a little film on this, and you just peel that off. And this is sticky. Where you're peeling this off, it's sticky underneath. You don't want to touch that. So I'm going to take it and just set it. It's really, really easy. I print these myself. I find patterns. I buy patterns on Etsy, or I find them on Canva. Sometimes you can find free stuff on Pinterest, wherever. And I do it myself. I get my paper on Amazon, and I'll show you. I'll get the paper and show you. So I've got it on. Now if you're going to print words or something, you always want to make sure you reverse. So paper's on there. All I'm going to do, oh, tell me I'm out of water. Nope. You just wet your paper. I kind of over wet mine. You really don't need that much, but I do just to make sure it gets on everything. And then I just real quick go like that, and then I let it sit for a minute. And once you start seeing your image come through pretty vibrant, you know it's almost ready. Now what I should have done is I should have, it is easier to work with the tattoo if it's almost cut to the perfect shape, but you can sand it off. I should have cut it almost perfect, but I didn't. So you just let it sit there for a minute. Ooh. It's ready to come off. I think before I pull it, I am going to trim it just a little bit closer, because I do have a lot of excess and I really don't want to mess, because see, it will pull off. And if I mess up, I've still got more paper. I just got excited and I know better. It is much easier to cut it to size. I'm going to have it on my fingers, but that's okay. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to pull the top layer off. You don't want to touch it. I take my rag and just kind of press it down in case there was any little air bubbles. You don't want to touch it with your finger yet. You can, but you run the risk of pulling it up. All right, and then I'm going to take my drying tool. It kind of is like the water slide, just a little bit easier for me anyway. Yeah, I'll get the thing and show y'all how it's done. It's really easy. Gonna just dry it real quick. Now, if you're using the heat tool, keep it moving on the tattoo because it will bubble it. And it only needs it for just a second and then it's dry. So let me grab my paper. So after a lot of trial and error, this brand, the Me Color, this brand is my favorite brand, and I always buy it in the big bulk. And when you get it, it comes in like, you know, different layers. So you'll have several, you'll have one of these for each sheet. And this is the film. And then this, and you can tell a difference because, whoop, this on the back, it has vision on the back. So this will be the front of your tattoo paper. So your image will print on here, and then after you've printed, you take this, and it's got to be dry. Your print's got to be dry, so you either let it sit. I always dry mine with the heat tool. You'll peel this paper off of the film because this part right here is sticky. That is what your ink ends up sticking to make your tattoo. So then you'll put this film over top of your printed image and you just smooth it out and your tattoo's ready to go. And you can print all kinds of stuff. Like I printed different bandana things, I've printed tags, I've printed full images before. I have a whole thing full of all kinds of different tattoos in there. And I just printed on just my regular Canon inkjet. They do make tattoo paper for the laser jet, but I don't have one of those. Yes, the tattoos are really fun. I mean, look at that. I just painted white behind it. And look, you've got that whole fun pattern. And then I just take my sander because it's dry and go around the edges. But you don't want to have near as much excess as I did because it is harder to work with. And then if you have that much excess, when you pull the top layer of that paper off of the film, it will stick to your sides. So unless you want it on your sides, you'll want to have it cut a little better. I should have showed y'all a little better, but yep, it's so fun, and you can get patterns and images on just about anything. I've found that, you know, a smooth surface works better, but you can put it on paper, you can put it on tiles, you can put it on, it loves glass. It works really good on glass. I use it on, obviously, wood all the time. You can put it on fabric. So I've used it on fabric tags. And it sands off just like that. Oop, I missed a spot. And I've never had an issue with it coming off. You can just, if you want to seal it, if it's going to be outside, you can seal it with whatever sealer you want. That's what we got. Alright, well, let's get the rest of this done. That's pretty dry. And I'm just going to get this sanded off. Come on. Now, I was being lazy and I should not have wasted all of this napkin like I did. I will put it up and still use the little bits and pieces of it. I should have trimmed off the edges a little bit. That's just showing you I'm being a little lazy tonight. We're going to get this put together and some of the little details. What I love about this kit if I can talk, there are so many little details you can do, and it has the etching in it, you know, the little grooves, the little etching, that you can do that, and we're going to do some of it. And it's going to be cute. He. I love this Scarecrow. Okay, almost there, almost there. Okay, there's the brim. Now this paper, I think I'm gonna have to use my thicker or coarser. Woo, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you, thank you. Because this paper is so thick, I'm going to use a coarser grit sandpaper, so we're not here all night. And I am using a little bit heavier pressure, even though this paper does come off pretty easy. I just don't want to be here all night sanding, because I know y'all have got work tomorrow. I've got to work. Well, if you call what I do work for myself, but since I started working for myself, I work harder and more often than I ever did with a regular job. And I have an appointment in the morning. And I don't know why. I wake up early. Like, I'm always an early riser. If I'm not awake by 6 o'clock, then that's sleeping in me. I'm usually up by 4, at least by 5 o'clock every single morning. Alright, that's done. Ooh. I have a big old glob of Mod Podge. I'm glad that was still a little wet. Alright, that was the only spot. So let's get this sanded off real quick, and then we're going to start putting it together and adding details. Alright, what do y'all have for dinner? I'm sitting here realizing I'm kind of hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. I'm just now at 8 o'clock at night realizing I'm hungry. I did stop at Kroger, and I don't know if any of y'all have Kroger by you. I know Kroger's in a lot of places, and I bought some of their, and I don't eat bread. I just don't, it just feels so heavy on my stomach. I don't eat it a lot. But they have this croissant bread, and it's like actual, like in a loaf and sliced like bread. But it's, you know, the croissant style. And oh my goodness, it's so good. It makes like the best grilled cheeses, or even just toast and sandwiches. I don't know what got into me, but I stopped and got some today, because that's the only place I can find it, is at Kroger. And I don't even know how I found it to begin with. My husband, he doesn't like croissants. So sadly, more than half of the loaf will end up going to waste, because I won't be able to eat it all, but man, it's so good. It's expensive there anyway for a loaf of bread. It's like $7, but I don't buy bread, so that may not be expensive. I don't know. From when I used to buy bread, it's expensive. Used to be like $1.25. If it was on sale, you get it for 99 cents. I saw something. Have y'all seen this? Ooh, Polish sausage, fried potatoes and veggies. Oh, that sounds so good. Mmm. I just don't eat very well. Like, I don't eat out. I just don't eat like a well-balanced meal when my husband's not home. So then when he's home, I actually, you know, cook and we eat good. Probably way too good. And now that we've got that new Blackstone that I actually know how to use, because I don't know how to use his other million fancy grills. I don't know first thing about them. Apparently, 1 or 2 of them you can actually like bake a cake in. but the Blackstone I'm excited about. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna end up cooking. Oh, Mindy, did you see what I did? Did you see? Did you see? But that's gonna be a super easy fix. Super easy because I did not get my Mod Podge all the way down there. So let me fix it. I'm just going to take my pencil and then I'm just going to take in a little X-Acto knife and I'm going to trim above that pencil line if I didn't Mod Podge it down, just so the brim of my hat will hide that. I knew I was messing up pulling that down as far as I did, but I did it anyway. Okay. Don't do what I did. But it's fixable. Everything is fixable. All right. I'm surprised I didn't, I'm really surprised I didn't like put my paper or paint on the wrong side of something. I've done that before plenty of times. Just got a little piece here with some Mod Podges stuck some paper, but I think I'm going to be able to get it without ruining my paint. Okay, I think we did it. Yep, you can't even see. And I've got a fingerprint with paint right there, but that's going to be covered too. So I think we're good there. And then this is going to go here. And then this goes here. Now let's find the right. If I hadn't covered up, I still don't think that's right either. If I hadn't covered up my little etching, I would have known exactly where it all goes. But I didn't think of this, but I think we're gonna make it work. Let's sand these a little bit. Okay. Now let's put some detail in this guy. I love how everything just fits so perfect. Okay. Now, we need to to add all the detail on this. There's little stitches on here. We need to do the little eyes. We don't have a whole lot more to do, but look how cute he's already looking. I'm so excited. And then that, just little pop of extra colors down there. It's gonna be so cute. All right, I'm getting out my markers, and I'm going to get my, these are Artix, AARTX, and this is just a darker yellow, and I don't know, it's gonna end up being lighter on here, but that's okay. I don't know that I love that. Don't think I do. So let's go to our other paint pens. Let's see what this looks like. Nope, I'm not going to like that one either. That's okay. I've got another plan. It's black. There's my brown. And okay, we're going to use some ink. I've got fluff or something on me. All right, I'm going to use a little bit of ink. I'm going to add a little bit of detail just here and there. And I'm going to first start down here on the bottom and kind of just give him a little bit more color. And you don't have to do this. I need to get a better variety of my paint pens because they work really good on these projects to add a little bit of detail. But that's okay, we've got another plan and we're going to make it cute. And this guy would be really cute, chippy too. And then just gonna kind of go back and forth like this in the same V shape, just to give it just a, and I did it much lighter just to give it a little bit more detail. Now let's take this and I'm gonna put just a little bit in the center, but I am also gonna go around the edges. Okay. It's pretty easy. No, I've noticed Hobby Lobby does not carry, and I don't think Michael's does either, does not carry this Distress Oxide anymore, the Ranger inks. So I'm not sure where to get it besides, I guess, Amazon. I don't know. You could also use wax on this, and the wax would, because this is a door hanger, if you're going to hang it outside, you definitely want to you would definitely want to make sure it's sealed, and I will seal it. I like to use the clear matte, like varnish, or the clear matte you know, spray paint stuff, but I also like to use the polyacrylic or polyurethane, and those come in sprays, wipe-ons, whichever. Alright, that just adds just a little bit of detail. And then I'm just going to go around edges on these and add just a little bit. Just kind of like on the edge, the tips. Okay, this one. Alright, now on the nose, I want to, and on the hair, I'm going to use this brown, and on the hair, I'm going to go right where that etching line is and just go straight down it. And you don't have to do this step. You can skip this step. And I'm going to go down the center. And then I'm going to do like little wispies on the ends too. I'll hold it up and show you. Just give me a second. These markers have a pretty fine tip on them, so you can do, you know, fine or press a little harder and do a little thicker. Okay, you see what I did there? That's just going to add just a little bit more dimension. Do the same over here. I might run this through the middle of the sunflower too. Just adds a little bit more depth to it. I wish I had a darker yellow, and I would add the yellow. Okay. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You just never know how busy people are going to be and if they're going to be able to come hang out or not. But I would be fine if there was only one person or two people on here. But I am so, so grateful for each and every one of you coming to support me. Okay. I'm usually getting ready for bed about this time. I'm usually not up this late very often. Well, I'm up. I'm just not in my regular clothes. I'm in my PJs getting comfy. Now on this one I'm going to try to do a little bit of a thinner line. Not quite as thick as I did on the hair. Sorry, I'm concentrating. Okay, we did it. Okay, and then I needed white for my little eyeballs. Because his his little eyeballs are going to need a little dot in them. And then on his nose, I wanted to do the little line with the dot. Just like so. Can you see that? Okay. Now need to put the lid on that and do the little stitches. And then his little mouth I'm going to do in black. I'm sorry. I'm concentrating. Oh, okay. We did it. We did it. Now, his little eyeballs. Need a little dot. Of course, this white doesn't want to show up. This white is not a very good one, but we have a good one. I'm just going to do a little circle. Then I'm going to do just a little line around one side, just a little bit of it. I might have to go over that again. I'll let it dry and see. White's kind of hard with these. Oh, here it goes. It's doing a little better. It's finally coming out. I'm not very good at eyes. Alright, I'm going to let those dry, and I might have to mess with them a little bit more. Okay. Need some cheeks. And I'm just using blush. Because this blush does stay on even when you seal it. But you can use paint. I've seen This was a while ago. I saw somebody use just chalk, like regular chalk, and they said it stays as well. A little bit more. Okay. We're just about there, y'all. We're just about there. Let me add some more shading, and I'll get you out of here so you can go enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank y'all for hanging out. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you, Christina, for allowing us to do this, supporting us. And thank you all my sisters, too, for being here and supporting me. We do need to pick a Happy Mail winner. So I can send some goodies. And oh, speaking of Happy Mail, Jamie, I owe you Happy Mail still, sister. You won a thing on my page one day, and I need you to message me your address so I can send you some Happy Mail. I keep forgetting to mention it, that I need your address. So, if you kindly, Miss Jamie, would send me your address, and then we're going to get him put together real quick and pick another Happy Mail winner. Oh, I like that much better. Adding a little bit more dark to that hair. I do. And I think the nose needs just a little bit of shading. Not a lot, just a little. And I'm sure after I'm done, I'll look at this guy for a day or two. There'll be something else I'll want to shade or add. Okay. Now, let me darken up. I may have to do this with wax to get it to darken the way I want to. And I'm just going to use my wax brush that already has the wax on it. I'm not adding any more wax. I'm just going over it. And it kind of darkens up those creases. Alright, we'll do that with this too. I really love that effect. The way it makes it look. Just hits those little raised creases on it. And just changes the whole look. It almost makes it look like leather, to be honest. Really cute. Cool. I don't know if it'd be something you'd call cute. And I didn't add any more wax to my brush. Okay. And going to take some ink around the edges on this guy. And then we're going to get it glued down and be done. I even remembered this time to get my little easel out so I can set it on an easel so y'all don't have to try and see through my fingers. So, napkins. This napkin on the hat brim I got from Target, from the Hearth and Hand, the Magnolia, the Joanna Gaines one. And the paper on my hat is from Hobby Lobby. And then we did a tattoo. And you can even sand this a little bit. You want to use a really fine grit sander or sandpaper. And I like to sand to kind of distress my edges just a little bit, but you use a really fine grit and very light hand, and you can sand that. Well, it kind of has like a little bit of a sheen to it. You can kind of sand that off and even distress a little bit, because once this is on here, it almost becomes, you know, like paint. It does not peel off easy. So I'm going to sand it just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more of a distressed look. And then I'm going right over that with some ink. You can go over it with wax or nothing at all if you don't like the distressing. I just want to darken up those edges. I wanted him just a little bit more on the rustic side. That's why I chose the colors that I chose. Man, I'm keeping y'all on here long. Bless your hearts for sticking with me, but he is kind of a bigger project, but he's so worth it. So adorable. His link is in the description, and I believe I forgot to add him in the feature part. There's always something I forget. I get so excited coming on here and I forget something. Surprised that it's not my dang name. That honestly would not surprise me. Let me fix the eyes. Just another coat on the eyes, and I'll let them dry while I am putting this all together. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to do eyes. I've been saying that since I started doing online, and I have yet to learn, but I'm gonna. It is my goal. Okay. Oh, that looks terrible. And the first thing on my mind is I need to go put my chickens up to bed. Well, they put themselves to bed. I just need to go lock them up because I'm not making that same mistake again. So I'm starting with my very bottom layer. I'm starting with my hat brim. And I'm just using the Type Bond. And I know it looks like I'm using a lot, but I'm not. And there's a cutout that shows you exactly where this goes. You just line it up with your edges right there. Just like that, just perfect. And then I'm gonna do my hair. And it also has the little cutouts. You can see right where it goes. And it should fit up there against the hat. And perfect. Right there and right there. I love how these always fit together so perfect. Ooh, I got a big old clump right there. We don't need that much darn glue. Alright. get this lined up here, because I like them, I'm kind of a perfectionist about it. I like it lined up just perfect. Alright, then I'm going to put my nose, and you can see the etching where that goes. And then we're going to do the hat brim, or the hat band, I'm sorry, and it just fits perfect right over top. And I'm going to add just a little bit more ink in here. Just a little bit. Okay. Next. I put a little bit on there and then I go over it with my finger. And then just stick it in the middle. And it dries clear, so if you see a little bit on there, it's fine. Now, I need to remember how this went. Because it goes on there. Goes on there a certain way. I don't remember. I'm just gonna kind of wing it, but I think it fits right there. And that one fits right there. Do believe it kind of came down like that. That's how we're gonna do it anyway. So I'm gonna leave them there. Just so I know where I had it. Okay. It may not be exactly where it was supposed to go, but it's close. Together. Well, I hope y'all have a good work week, or just a good week, even if it's not work, but regardless, if you actually work outside your home and have a job, we all still do something every day. We all still do some kind of work. Regardless, I hope y'all have a great week. And I hope y'all will go and, oh, I'm glad I went with red. It's bright and it looks amazing on that hat. But those leaves are going to cover my fall. That's okay. We can fix it. We can fix it. Okay. I can maybe work it out so that that leaf is kind of in the middle. Like so. Let me stand up and look at that. I may move it a little bit more. I'm not worried about that paint. It'll dry. It'll dry clear. It'll be fine. Okay, let's get these glued and on here. All right, the glue's gonna look a little messy, but don't worry, it'll dry. You won't even see that it's there. You won't even be able to tell. Now, remember, if you don't put the thick paper on like I did, if you used like, you know, the tissue paper or a napkin, or you just painted, you would have the etching lines to see exactly where the letters, and heck, even the sunflower has the lines to show you exactly where it goes to. And I'm telling you, it's so handy. I may need to use more glue because this paper just sucks up all that moisture. I'm kind of winging it with my letter placement here. Doing my best to get them straight. And I will clean up some of this excess glue. Oh boy. I'm making quite the mess. Here, we're going to do that. There we go. All right, y'all. I do believe we are almost there. Let's get this on. And then we just need eyeballs. And there was one thing I was going to do and I forgot. But I think we can still do it. It's something that I'm newly obsessed with. And I will probably end up doing more white on these eyeballs too. And I will definitely be getting a picture. Nope, I'm not going to be able to. I was going to put some of that, oh, what's it called? The coconut fibers. I was going to put a little bit behind the center of this and let it kind of poke out because I've been in love with that look so much. All right, I think we're done. I will be posting a picture very, very soon. And there he is. Isn't he cute? I think he turned out pretty cute. Pretty cute. He's pretty neutral, but I think he's pretty cute. I love him. And I love how that red pops on his hat. Anyway, y'all, let's pick a Happy Mail winner. And this Happy Mail winner needs to message me. And I'm the Pink Llama TX. You do need to be following me to win Happy Mail, though. So, please follow me to win the Happy Mail. Okay? So I am just going to scroll on my phone. Thank y'all so much. Here, let's see if it will stand up on my little easel I have here. This easel does not come with it. This is something that I've had. So let's just see if it'll stand up on the easel. So y'all can look at it. This is a hanger. And I'm just going to put some jute through those holes. No, it doesn't really want to, it's not meant for the easel. But I can at least hold it so you can see it. All right, y'all. If you want, oh, thank you, sweet Kefany. Thank y'all so much. All right, I'm going to scroll and land on a name. And whoever that is, I don't care if you're a creator, whoever, you can win Happy Mail. You just need to message me, the Pink Llama TX. And you need to be following. So I'm scrolling now. Whoop. Scrolling. Scrolling. All right. Elaine Henry. Elaine Henry, you are the name that I landed on. So, Miss Elaine, you need to order. Well, the link is in my description if you would like to order. Or just send me a message and I can help you with anything you need. All right, y'all. Elaine Henry, send me a message so I can get your address and get you some Happy Mail sent out. But y'all, thank you so much for all the love and support and for being here with me tonight. If you're not following me or Christina with the Rust Cover Cottage by Christina, or any of my other friends in here, we would all love a follow. It's free to follow, and we work really hard to try and bring you cute inspiration. But go get you one of these kits. They're so fun to do, and it's super cute, and there's a million different ways you can do it. But go enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope y'all have a good night's sleep tonight and a great Monday. Be safe out there, and I will see y'all again very, very soon. Again, thank you so much, Christina, for all the support you give us. And I'm signing off, y'all. I'm going to go lock up my girls. That's my chickens, not actual girls. They are girls, but you know. Anyway, I'm going to go lock them up and get Tank ready for bed. All right, Elaine Henry, send me a private message. And the rest of y'all, have a good night. Thank you again. Bye, guys.